I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a bit conflicted about the arch and actually climbing the arch. Certainly not necessary. First couple of times I did it, I used ropes because I wasn't sure how secure it was, and it's a bit like those 12 apostles, which aren't 12 in number anymore. You really don't know when something like that is going to collapse. So I don't recommend it. The rock's very friable. It's a conglomerate sandstone, tricky. I've got a lot of experience rock climbing, so it doesn't really bother me. But as I say, I'm a little bit conflicted. G'day. Well, I came down to the Gulch today fully expecting to finish off all my filming because the forecast was for 2 to 3 foot and dropping. Doesn't look like that here. In fact, it's a big mess here today, and there's some really big, well, there's meter waves, there's surfable waves coming in here every 10 minutes or so. So as it's been for the last few years, perhaps because it's the La Nina cycle that we're in, the water stays dirty and the swell stays constant, or at least it's here. It just never drops right off, or else the swell direction never swaps. It's always coming, marching straight in to the coast here. It's never marching up the coast, which is what I need to get into there. I've got some GoPro footage of, I think it was yesterday, I tried to get in there. It was a lot calmer than this, but I hit the wrong tide. Live and learn. I've been in there before, but that was years ago, and obviously it has to be a really low tide to be able to get in there and actually set up and do some filming and not ruin the equipment. So I don't know when the hell I'm going to get in there. Apart from that, pretty spectacular here. Confession, I was here probably 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and it was like, well, twice as big as it is now, and I thought, oh, I'll come do a little bit of filming. And incident happens just over there. I was a long way up. I was on dry rock. I'd set up the camera and the tripod, and then I dropped back down myself, and I was doing the piece to camera stuff, and this big monster of a wave came through, and well, I got back up to where the camera and the tripod was, but unfortunately the wave got up to where the camera and the tripod was too, so it all got washed away. I didn't get washed away. but it was a really big and expensive lesson for me, and perhaps for you too, that never underestimate what can happen down here. I'd only wanted to be filming for like 5 minutes. I thought I'll set up for 5 minutes and then I'll get the hell out, but wasn't to be. I know it was painful, but all that happened was I lost a few grand and got a bit wet. But yeah, that was a lesson learned. Today, just spectacular. I'm taking extra care. The only tricky bit now is the hole in the wall to get through to here. The water actually is rushing through there at times. When you get a big wave like this, so I've got to be careful of that. But the tide's starting to drop, so perhaps not so bad. But here we go. This is what we've got to contend with the gulch. It's very frustrating. I know that the camera doesn't quite pick up just how big the swells are, but believe me, whatever you're seeing there, the swell's actually half as big again in IRL. This is what, it's a little spiral sinkhole here. I think of it as the lungs of the gulch. Perhaps one day I'll abseil down there on the low tide. What do you think? Maybe not. There's a little soak hole. Love that. Of course, it's spectacular because it's we're on the high tide and we're got a big swell running. Whoa! Yeah. So the little pool's getting flushed as well. I'll have to be aware of that. Well, I'll just quickly pop in just to give you sense of the scale of the, but it'll be like a very quick sense of the scale. Beautiful. Okay, well, dryish rock here, and I can see what's coming. So here we have the lungs here we have our soak here, and if you look across the other side of the gulch, you see the entrance to the pit, and also 3 meters to the right of the entrance, you see that little gap, which is where I set up the rope, and that was my exit point on the first episode. It would be an incredibly challenging swim. Well, not so much the swim, but the actually getting out on the other side without a rope would be incredibly problematic, and you just wouldn't do it on a day like today. You might get lucky and get washed up. The problem being, usually when you've got your landing spot, you've got to time it, and then you've got to wait around for a few minutes. And there's usually, on a day like today, a lot of water movement for that. So just trying to stay in the one position, wait for your time, is problematical in itself, and it gets very tiring. And so you wear yourself out just staying in position, waiting. And yeah, well, it's happened to me before, and it's not a pleasant feeling. Yeah, well, I suppose it's a good day for me to be here to show you especially on today, actions have consequences. So you've got to be prepared for those consequences, and you only get good at that with experience. Yeah. I'd have to say too, with coast-steering generally, if you're not sure about a crossing, my recommendation is spend at least 20 minutes looking at it. Might sound excessive, but what for a 3 or 4 minute period of time might seem really easy and reasonable can suddenly transform into something like this in no time, and yeah. So you've got to be aware of that.
Well, the water's cold and the wind's cold. There's the arch. Well, not going out in there today. Need a low tide. Perfect. Again, I'm going to have to wait. Okay. Whoa. All right. And we're landing. Check behind. No problem. You never know what you're going to see here.
Woo. Well, after the morning's debacle, so to speak, I've come back this afternoon and conditions are even worse. It's certainly not quieting down. So I thought I'll just give you a look at the arch from another angle, and it's always a little bit nerve-wracking going up this. Not so much the pillar here as when you get closer to the top. But man,
yeah, that's what I mean about not being particularly reliable or solid.
I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm just a little bit nervous. All good. Anyway, that gives you a bit of a taste of the gulch, and I think we're going to leave the gulch now, and we're going to go further north. I'm not going to say what we're going to do because I have no idea what we're going to do. I think it'll just depend on conditions. Of course, coast steering doesn't have to involve actually getting wet. It can just involve walking along the coastline, exploring. So perhaps that's what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. We'll see. So, over and out.